What's up, guys? Just want to do a video quickly, just going over the week and kind of what to expect tomorrow. So, of course, FOMC week always, trade Wednesday. You guys want to trade any day, but trying to stick to a naked chart here and kind of go back on what we did. So, basically, the main thing we're looking at going into tomorrow, do that quickly, is are we going to be able to find new sellers, new market participants down here? If we're not able to find new market participants, more selling, we are just gonna, people are just gonna profit take. No shorts covering, and we're just gonna probably drive back up and to make a newer high here to see if we're able to get more buyers above highs. If not, we're just going to drive right back down to the range. So I believe we're still in a range until we're able to find the I can't say yearly highs and lows, but mainly the basic recent swing highs and lows. So going forward, definitely watching that. We need selling to get down here, to continue down, to get to probably ride it daily, back down to this daily demand down here. So this week, pretty decent, strong sell off. On the daily, we have only one fair value. Still have a decent gap down here, but we did fill it in. Looking at kind of, well, let's go to the weekly. The weekly, the main objective I think has been filled. Is the market went outside. So usually, if we take out the lows and we're about halfway, most times than not, we should be traveling down to the lows. And usually, when we take out the highs, we take out the lows. Pretty much, that's the week's done. So tomorrow definitely could go anywhere. Not really knowing where we want to go. Let's just break it down to the 4 hour and kind of just see what we did on ES. We'll do NQ and then go over a couple stocks. So finally, we had overall we've been having these decent push-ups, sell-offs. We made a new recent low here, but of course it was bought up really quick. And that's what I'm talking about when shorts covering, when we kind of break out. We've been ranging like in here. And we finally had our breakdown, liquidity grab, whatever you want to call it down here. Couldn't find any more new sellers. So what did they do? They pushed the market up until they kind of broke out to the top. Couldn't find any more market buyers. And then they're going to bring it back down to, sweep the lows. And of course, today we go super in. I mean, every time we came below that previous low, we came straight back up. Below, straight back up. That's something you always want to watch. We do have kind of strong sell-offs, slow moves up, strong sell-off, slow move up. So definitely watch that. That's going to continue kind of today. If we're just kind of going to have a overnight bear flag, kind of just like what we've been doing all week. Overnight bear flag, overnight bear flag. NQ kind of shows this move a little bit better than ES because it's more consolidated a bit, but basically every kind of hour fair value gap, we are getting filled back in. This one is completely filled in. This one last night, I'll just take the bottom of the wick. Look at that liquidity grab. They basically filled in the market imbalance and then brought the price straight back down to the swing low, which, was actually a good spot to short if you're up at 3 a.m. Give you 166 points on NQ. NQ on the weekly, Hasn't slipped the lows, but most of this week is tech earnings. Kind of look at on the daily. It was kind of more in a range compared to ES. Range for longer compared to ES. So what we're looking at is, are we going to be able to, same thing, an hour, we don't have, I believe we do not have any fair value gaps. So basically, NQ is pretty much balanced to the upside. There's really no imbalances. But NQ, I kind of had this drawn up today because we have kind of this overall bear flag kind of going. So definitely want to see if we are able to push up into this area 3217 and push it down or break out. Honestly, I think the market could go wherever it wants. I thought FOMC, I'm like going into FOMC, I'm like, they want to take it higher, they can. If they want to take it lower, they can. Anything could have happened. But right now, a lot of eyes are on the banks, a lot of eyes are on oil, all these things. But let's go ahead and look at Apple going into today or into tomorrow. Apple had this beautiful downtrend from kind of last week's nice breakout. Made a new yearly high, sold off kind of prematurely into earnings and looking pretty good after earnings. The main thing to watch on Apple is, what are they going to do at market open? Are they going to kind of profit take? Last earnings, Apple sold off super hard and they bought that dip so hard, and the market pushed. So Apple, especially, if Apple wants to start heading towards that all-time high at 181, it can help push the market a lot too. You're kind of broken our downtrend overall big time. So Apple, definitely keep your eyes, if you're watching, if you're scalping, watching, whatever, keep Apple chart up. Apple's gonna pretty much, I think, dictate the market on if investors at market open like that earnings. I believe they beat, but they didn't beat they beat estimates, but based on deep thinking, they didn't really do that good with all the reopening. I don't think they did guidance, but all these companies are guiding down to beat earnings, and eventually they're gonna have to start guiding up, and eventually start missing earnings when they keep guiding up. AMD, nice buyback from earnings. Microsoft deal today went pretty crazy. AMD is kind of just in this overall downtrend right here. Let's look at what fibs hit. 0.786. If we get above this 92.22 tomorrow, or kind of this area right here, if AMD wants to push it to go into tomorrow, that's going to be my eyes on AMD. That would be the downtrend break and be able to push up. Amazon, I don't like Amazon at all. You can tell really no move. I just like long on it as long as it holds 100. Other than that, I mean, it's good for shares, I believe. I'm not going to look at Meta. Seem to be rejecting that 248, which was the initial gap fill. And we have a gap fill below. So Meta definitely could be very interesting, both sides to the gap. Definitely going to watch this kind of earnings calendar. I always draw these fibs, earnings pushes, to see if we retrace back to that golden zone. 1Z50 there. I always like to see kind of like the high too. You got possible 2 retracements here. I believe it's done it before. You can take this to here, the low, the high during earnings day, to the low after the earnings. That nice retrace here, 118. Came all the way down to 108. Pretty decent move. You'll see these on these earning pushes. Back. Let's see what it did this earning. Low to the high. Came down. Beautiful touch of that golden zone. Continuation up. So that's what I'm definitely be looking on Meta going forward. Microsoft, I mean, this is just straight consolidation right now. Just wait for the break. Kind of like what NVIDIA did. Wait for the break. Take your play and be good. So we're looking kind of, I'd say 310. Well, not 310, 309 to be safe. Because I believe when it breaks, it's going to break. Just like NVIDIA. I'll show you NVIDIA when we get it. Then 304. So Microsoft, just chilling. Let's see what's going to happen there going forward. Had a decent move. I mean, Microsoft's been pretty beastful. I remember I got May calls. I really need to look at that. 315s, I think they were. I believe I got them right here. Averaged down around here. Held. I think they are possibly still holding. So definitely watching that on Microsoft. That's going to be a big play. Keep that in mind. NVIDIA, just like what NVIDIA did the whole month of March, straight sideways. And as soon as we broke out, look at we broke out strong. $10 move. And that's what I think Microsoft's going to look like. This is where I took my calls right here, NVIDIA calls, on that retest. Of course, we're back down into that area. I want to see what flagging, see where the Fib retrace kind of in that golden zone. So possibly a little push up. I'd like to see another break and retest that 281 to stay bullish. If not, we're just gonna come back right back down to that bottom of the range, bottom of our balance area. And then Tesla, same thing. Almost looks just like Microsoft the past couple days. Look at this sideways action. Just wait for that break. Kind of 165 and 160. But I'm definitely looking for the upside on this one. If you go to your overall daily, we have our Fib retrace from our, our way low to our recent swing high. I had a nice bounce from it from the gap fill. We have a gap fill right here. Kind of rejected gap fill at first. And we also have a huge gap to the upside. But I think Tesla, let's see what it does from this consolidation. Kind of wait for the break. Kind of hard to be bullish or bearish on a stock, especially with what is going to happen. So, going into tomorrow. Going tomorrow, definitely watching our kind of consolidation up and see what happens from there. Definitely watching. See some levels. 4 hour. $41.30. We've been in this area quite some time. This is our chop area. You can tell every time we hit this area, we chop. We have a chop area here, chop there. Another choppy area here, choppy area here. So, and there's like a little choppy area here. Definitely need to get a direction. You can tell every time we kind of move very quickly from this area. It's kind of overextended for the length on it. I definitely want to see what brings. I'm trying to stay bearish, but of course, in the end, are we going to get market participants new selling under here? That's the main thing. That's what we're looking for. Basically, underneath yesterday's lows would be the best time to see if we get any more selling. Look at our monthly. No, look at that. It's overall, this monthly this last June. It's really going nowhere. Crazy to look at. Look at how we're just in our bull run. We sold off, and then we're just sideways. It's like, just because the banks and all that. But that's gonna do it for me, guys. Hopefully, this was a little learning experience. Don't have much. I'm taking kind of a few mental days right now. Just sometimes you just gotta have to do it. Just day in and day out, grinding, looking at charts, sitting on the computer. Just I have like an obsessive personality, so I just start obsessing. So sometimes I just gotta be like taking days off. You can tell even today I came on and was still looking charts here and there, but as long as I'm just not sitting at the computer just watching charts, get outside and do all that stuff. But y'all have a great rest of your night. Have a great weekend. Y'all stay safe.